Chicago Bulls, one of the most well-known and legendary franchises in the history of the NBA, it ain't the best franchise in history and nowhere near in comparison to the Boston Celtics and the Lakers. But it has had its glory years with one of the greatest to ever play the game of basketball, Michael Jordan, and alongside him Scottie Pippen, a Hall of Famer and the second best player in Chicago at the time. After Jerry Krause split the great Phil Jackson and MJ Chicago Bulls in '98. The closest the Chicago Bulls has been to a championship was the season of 2010 to 2011 with Derrick Rose as the rising star from Chicago, who became the season's MVP that year, and led the team of Chicago to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost against the Big Three of the Miami Heat consisting LeBron James, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. The season after that Derrick Rose got injured and never came back from that, and his time before that sadly was his prime. He eventually got traded to the Knicks as the franchise of Chicago felt they couldn't gain anything more from D. Rose. But since then Derrick Rose has become a good playmaker and shot creator instead of his old athletic and defensive self. Chicago, who was a great franchise in the Michael Jordan era, and was on their way back to the top with Derrick Rose but sadly failed, and today the Chicago Bulls is a team with potential as they have a young roster with Zach LaVine, Kobe White and Lauri Markkanen and so on. I believe Zach has great potential but has more room to improve and is far from enough for Chicago to reach their goal. Even though I don't believe that this will happen, this is something I'm really eager to see and really hopeful for it to happen. Retrieving Anthony Davis, as AD just got his first chip in the Lakers with LeBron, it's not very likely that Davis will move to Chicago. But consider this, we can't underestimate the love a man has for his own hometown. He has hinted that he might move back to the Windy City someday, and that he would love to play for Chicago, his hometown. And another thing to think about is what it would do for his legacy. Anthony is one of the best players in the league right now, and for him to stay in LeBron's shadow in my opinion is weak, because let's be honest, even though AD is a major factor in Lakers' success, we all know that the Lakers is LeBron's team right now. But for Chicago to pull that deal, they would have to give up a lot for Davis. They would probably have to give away 3 of their players like Wendell Carter or Thaddeus Young or any other young players plus future first-round draft picks. And in my opinion could be worth it, as the Chicago Bulls need a superstar to become championship contenders again. Zach LaVine, the star player of Chicago right now, and as I said before has a lot of potential, really good shooter and can attack on the paint, but lack the skill of a playmaker and can't make plays for the team. But having Kobe White as their playmaker, who also shows promise but is too young and inexperienced to really make the Bulls team dangerous. What should the Chicago Bulls do? Well, if they can pull off the Davis deal, the one thing I think the Bulls really need to do: bring Derrick Rose back. And before you all disagree with me, just let me explain. Derrick Rose is the lost son of Chicago. I can't imagine anyone disliking D. Rose on his MVP run before all the injuries. It was sad that Chicago let him go, but I understand that he got paid a lot for getting injured at the end, and it was sad. But later, as he went from team to team and everybody thought it was over for him, he played for the Timberwolves and actually did great. He has harnessed a significant better basketball IQ and is more of a technical playmaker as opposed to the dominant athletic point guard he was before. And keep in mind he's just 31 years old. If D. Rose, AD and Zach LaVine played together, with Kobe White on the bench learning and growing from D. Rose and Markkanen shooting and proving they could be a top 5 team on the East, and building the depth around this squad could be the first step towards the right direction. Song of Chicago, coming back to win a chip would be the greatest NBA story of all time. All D. Rose fans would really like for him to get a championship, and not only that but for Chicago, as he was really heartbroken about having to leave in the first place. Crying and saying,
"I don't know how to feel right now, like, I'm anxious, but it's shy, man. That shit made me who I am, man."
It really made him emotional, as Chicago is his hometown, where he grew up, his family and friends, and where his career started. And to leave all of that behind can be emotional, but even though he left, he is still till this day loved by the fans of Chicago and still cheers him on whenever he plays in Chicago's home court as they chant MVP.
Chanting MVP chant. First free throw for Derrick. I think that was a smile too.
As for today, Derrick Rose plays for the Detroit Pistons, averaging 18.1 points per game off the bench, but has proven to be a capable, productive primary ball handler when it has been needed. Rose could be the playmaker Chicago needs to bring out the best of the players around him. The Chicago Bulls have a lot of young talents to offer Detroit for Derrick Rose if they were to be interested in making a deal. I really hope for this to happen, even though it seems highly unrealistic to happen, but one can always hope. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more basketball content.
Elevation, and that could be a morale crusher for Houston.